Hi, my friends. Today I want to present you a new story. Enjoy watching it.
My name is Kira. When I was 15 years old, I arrived at Eleanora Lancaster's estate with one suitcase, zero expectations, and a heart that felt like it had been scooped out and tossed into traffic. The divorce had gutted everything. Mom stayed with her new husband Victor, a slick fraud of a man with crocodile leather shoes and the warmth of a tax audit. Dad vanished to who knows where. And me? I was sent to live with Gran Eleanora, the woman we only ever saw in Christmas cards and headlines. Her mansion loomed like something from a Gothic fairy tale. Ivy-covered stone, vast black gates, and windows that watched you like eyes. When the butler opened the door, she was already waiting in the hall. Perfectly dressed, diamond earrings that glinted like judgment. "So you're the one they tossed aside," she said. Her voice was clipped cool. I nodded, swallowing my pride. "Guess so." She turned sharply. "Well, come in. I won't have you standing there like a stray." That was how our story began, not with warmth, but with the door closing behind me. At first, she was ice. Polite, strict, busy. I was a ghost haunting her guest wing, but over time she began to notice me. I stayed quiet at dinners, listened intently when she took calls, and asked questions no one expected a teenager to care about. Quarterly earnings, product lines, ethical sourcing. Her eyes began to linger longer on me. One afternoon, she dropped a thick folder on the table beside my tea. "Read this. Tell me tomorrow where they messed up the profit forecast." Seriously, why would I joke about profit? I read it 3 times that night. Highlighted, made notes, underlined. The next morning, I pointed out an overlooked inflation adjustment and the CEO's padded bonus. She stared at me. "You're not just pretty bones. You've got steel in you." And just like that, a door opened. She took me to her corporate meetings, made me sit beside her at charity dinners. I watched how she commanded rooms full of men with her age and half her wit. She started introducing me as my granddaughter Kira. "She's observing for now." But not everyone was thrilled. Celeste. My older sister had always been the beautiful one, the flawless one, the golden child with a carefully curated Instagram life. When she heard I was living with Gran, training under her, she sent me a single message. "CEL, what is this? Are you her new little puppet?" I didn't reply. I should have. Weeks passed. One night, after a gala where Gran publicly called me the future of Lancaster, I found a manila envelope waiting on my bed. Inside, photos. Me and one of Gran's board members, Dean Hargrave, laughing over coffee. Out of context, sure. But if twisted, dangerous. Attached was a typed note. "She trusts you now. Let's see how long that lasts." No signature. But the faint scent of Celeste's favorite perfume, rosewater and ambition, still clung to the paper. I sat on my bed, fingers trembling. That's when I realized. This wasn't just sibling rivalry anymore. This was war. She arrived unannounced. It was a rainy Tuesday afternoon when I opened the front door and found Celeste, coat clinging to her curves, a crocodile skin bag on one arm, and a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Sister," she said, voice honey sweet. "Aren't you going to invite me in?" I hesitated. Gran's warning echoed in my mind. Never underestimate a Lancaster woman, especially one who's been ignored too long. Still, I stepped aside. Celeste played her role perfectly. She charmed the house staff, complimented Gran's antique collection, and doted on Eleanora with nauseating affection. "I just want to be close to family again," she said one evening over tea. Gran studied her with the suspicion of a queen who's seen one too many betrayals. But I let my guard slip. Celeste began shadowing me. Learning, she claimed. In reality, she was copying passwords, taking photos of confidential memos, even subtly turning staff against me. One by one, I noticed side glances, whispered doubts. A project pitch I prepared disappeared mysteriously before the board meeting. And then there was Victor, my mother's new husband. He showed up at a company event, shaking hands like a polished politician. Gran barely concealed her disgust. "I thought I banned him from my property," she muttered. Celeste interjected smoothly. "He's changed, Gran. He's helping me understand business." It clicked. She wasn't back for reconciliation. She was back for blood, and she wasn't alone. That night, I caught Celeste outside on the terrace, whispering on the phone. She trusts me now, she said. All we need is one good scandal to break her. She turned, startled to see me there. I didn't speak. I didn't have to. The war had officially begun. The email came at dawn. URGNT, confidential financial breach. Lancaster internal audit. My fingers trembled as I scrolled through the forged documents, spreadsheets showing phantom transfers, emails I'd never written. It looked damning. Minutes later, the boardroom erupted. Mr. Halvorsen, our legal head, slammed the file down. We have no choice, Miss Lancaster. Until this is resolved, you are suspended. I stood frozen. This isn't real. Someone's framing me. Eleanor entered, frail but proud. She looked at me, not with anger, but something worse. Doubt. I just need time to prove it, I whispered. She didn't answer. Her hand clutched her chest, her knees buckled. Gran, I cried, rushing forward. The ambulance lights painted the marble walls red. She had a mild stroke. Grandma was admitted to the hospital. They blamed stress. I blamed Celeste. Within 24 hours, I was out. My keycards disabled. Security escorting me off the estate like a criminal. At a roadside diner that night, a voice startled me. Still like black coffee? It was my father, Martin. Tired eyes, older than I remembered. I'm here to help you. I've been secretly watching this whole situation for a long time. I think it's time we talk, he said, sliding over a folder. Inside were photos, statements, evidence of Celeste's sabotage, offshore accounts, Victor's signature, even a grainy recording of Celeste saying, "She's just a girl playing CEO. I deserve the crown." I looked up, my voice steady for the first time in days. Then let's take it back. The courtroom smelled of cold marble and tension. I sat beside Martin, my heart pounding. Weeks of preparation, of gathering digital forensics, whistleblower testimonies, and surveillance clips had led to this. Celeste arrived in a white blazer, smiling like a saint. She locked eyes with me, then turned to the jury with crocodile charm. The judge leaned forward. "Counsel, proceed." Our lawyer pressed play. The courtroom fell silent. Celeste's voice filled the room. "If Eleanor doesn't name me here, I'll leak everything. The affair, the bribes. I'm the face of the brand now. Here's just the warm-up act." Eleonora, pale but present in her wheelchair, shut her eyes. The prosecution displayed transaction trails, Celeste's fingerprints on forged invoices, her logins on my private accounts, Victor's name attached to siphoned funds. Celeste's smile cracked. "You can't prove that was me," she shouted. Eleonora spoke at last, her voice shaky but sharp. "You betrayed the family, Celeste, and you almost buried this company in the process." Gasps echoed. It's revealed that Celeste had not only faked Kira's embezzlement, but also attempted to alter Eleonora's will. The gavel came down hard. This court finds the defendant guilty on all charges. As they cuffed her, Celeste turned to me, venom in her eyes. "You think this is over?" I stood tall. "No, it's only just begun." The sun pierced the courtroom windows as Celeste was led away in handcuffs, her once perfect image shattered. Celeste is sentenced to 7 years in prison for fraud, coercion, and attempted theft of intellectual property. Victor's arrest made headlines too, caught trying to flee with diamonds sewn into his coat lining. The Lancaster name, though bruised, stood tall. A week later, I stood at the edge of Eleonora's rose garden, her silver cane tapping softly beside me. "You stood when it would have been easier to fall," she said, placing something in my palm. A delicate gold locket. "I wore it when I started the company. Now it's yours." Tears blurred my vision. "You really trust me to lead?" "I don't trust you, Kira," she said with a proud smile. "I believe in you." At the annual Beauty Industry Gala, I stepped onto the stage, applause thunderous. Holding the award for Young Visionary of the Year, I spoke from the heart. This isn't just a win. It's a reminder that truth, no matter how buried, always rises. From the front row, Eleonora nodded, misty-eyed. Behind her, the empty chair that once belonged to Celeste stayed cold and still, just like her ambition. And I stepped into the light, not just as hair, but as a strong, hardened woman.
Friends, what do you think of this story? Write your opinion in the comments. Would you like more stories? Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you don't miss any videos. See you tomorrow.